So Gisele has not talked publicly at all about her breakup with Tom Brady, which ended in divorce, but she has now. She spoke to Vanity Fair, and it is really interesting. We have told you that Gisele, you know, even though everybody's saying this is all about football, it's all about Tom Brady not wanting to retire, we knew that wasn't the case. And it was a part of it, but not really a big part of it. So she has now talked about this to Vanity Fair. Here's what she said. What's been said, this is the not retiring, is one piece of a much bigger puzzle. It's not so black and white. When you love someone, you don't put them in a jail and say, you have to live this life. You set them free to be who they are, and if you want to fly the same direction, then that's amazing. We're not playing against each other. We are a team, and that's beautiful. I look back and I have no regrets. I loved every bit of it. So what she's saying is they just grew apart over time, and she's saying you don't hold somebody in jail and say you have to live my life or I have to live yours, because that's called jail. And what she's saying is you just release people when it's just not working anymore.
Yeah, but she was kind of seen as the bad guy, I felt like it, because remember there were all those reports that she said, hey, it's either me and the family or it's football.
But those weren't true.
No, and she said that that's the craziest thing she's ever heard in this interview. And look, I think football was a big piece of this. I think it's probably a bigger piece than she's letting on, because that was his life and that was his direction, if you will, that she's talking about here. But look, there were clearly other things behind the scenes, too.
Well, she also said that this has been kind of deteriorating now for years. Yeah. So it wasn't just one thing. And when, you know, if you go back years, there was no issue about Tom playing football. I mean, he was in his prime then. But look, what we've heard from people very close to them was she made the decision that it just wasn't for her anymore. That marriage was just not for her, and you can understand that.
Yeah, I think also they met when they were in their 20s. It was a lifetime ago, and obviously it's not just celebrities. People change over the decades, and I do think this is a situation where you had two people who just grew apart in life. And you know what's interesting too, Harv? She also spoke about her dating life, or maybe lack of a dating life now. Obviously, neither Tom nor Gisele has publicly admitted to moving on, but there's the jiu-jitsu teacher, there's Joaquin Valente. She talked about him. She does not say anything about them dating. She said, look, this is strictly, he is a jiu-jitsu teacher for the kids.
I did not know she talked about him, did she?
Yeah, she did. She said that they essentially feel like it's a great form of exercise and self-defense, especially for their young daughter, and that's why he accompanies them on these vacations to Costa Rica, despite how romantic it seems.
Well, as Gisele says, you just can't have too much self-defense.
I still don't fully believe that, but
Brad, I don't believe it at all.
I don't believe it at all. The guy's been in Costa Rica more than he's been where he lives in Miami.
We see him more than any of the other teachers. You'd think that maybe math and science was a little more important than jiu-jitsu.
I'm racking my brain trying to figure what I can tutor these kids in so I can get these free trips to the Costa Rica.
But there's one thing we haven't seen with all these trips to Costa Rica: the kids doing jiu-jitsu.
That's the one thing
we haven't seen.
Letitia from Dallas, and I am so glad that Gisele finally said this, because everybody was giving Tom grief about taking football over family, and he knew that that relationship was over. I'm sure she let him know, because when a woman is fed up, she lets that person know, and he knew that there was nothing else that he could do. So I think that he knew that he was going to lose his wife and eventually retire from football. Don't do it at the same time. Both of those are big hurts for him. So I think that he chose to allow that divorce to happen and then still have something to wake up and go and look forward to every day, which was football.
That's a very interesting theory. I never really thought of that. I like that.